Hey there, Mr. Sutton here, bringing you the IM322 Extra Practice number 5 solutions on GCF and factoring by grouping. There's a puzzle that goes with this one. Let's check that out. So for this puzzle, the prompt is, did you hear about? So there's going to be some witty expression, question, sort of weird thing that we're going to fill in here after doing all these problems. The mechanics of this one, we have a bunch of expressions to factor below. And once we factor it, we're supposed to match it with one of the answers. So for problems A through G, we're looking on the left side here, this left column of answers. And then for problems H through N, we go over here on the right side and check out one of those answers. When we find an answer, we will just put the word that goes with that answer in the box that goes with the letter of the problem. Now, why they used letters instead of numbers, I'm not really sure, because the letters aren't really being used for anything other than telling us which problem is which, but hey, whatever, here we go. One other thing that might be worth noting, looking at the instructions here, is they say keep working and you'll hear what's brewing. Brewing, for those of you who are not from Boston area, is a bear, basically. So there might be some kind of bear-related sort of thing going on. And if you look at the words here, we have hunted, we've got bear, we've got deer, shot. So this seems like it's going to be some kind of hunter sort of thing. Anyway, moving on with the first problem. All of these problems are basically like the last step of factoring by grouping. So we've already got something sort of kind of semi-factored, and we just have to take it all the way. So looking here, I see that I have two big terms with a common factor of x minus 2. That's one big GCF that I can take out of everything. And then for my leftovers, I've got the x from this first term and the plus 3 from the second term. So I've got x minus 2, x plus 3 in whatever order. I've got those two things right here. So in spot number A, I'm going to put the word the. For this next one, I've got a common factor of 2a plus 5 in both of these terms, so that's what I'll factor out. And now my leftovers, the a and the plus 2 go in a parentheses next to it. So I need an a plus 2 and a 2a plus 5, and it's looking like, where is that? Right there. Here we are. So we'll put man in spot number B. So we had a the in part A, and then B is the man. For problem number C, we have a common factor of 3n minus 1 on this one, so I can take that out of both of those terms. And now my leftovers, we have an n and a minus 5. So looking for that one in my answers, it looks like, let's see, n minus 5, 3n minus 1. There we go. So we'll put a who next to C. For question number D, this time around we have a common factor of r plus 4, same parentheses in both cases, so we'll yank that out of there. And now I've got a 2b and a minus 3 left over. So let's see, r plus 4, 2b minus 3, where would I find that? That's the very first one right here at the top. So we have hunted for that one. On this next one, I have a common factor of x squared plus 1, so I'll take that out of everything. And now I have a k and a plus 4 also left over. Doesn't really matter whether those are before or after the parentheses, as long as there's nothing in between so that they're factors. So let me find that in my answers. X squared plus 1, k plus 4. There it is, right there. There's the bear that we were being hinted at with this Bruin clue from earlier. For part F, we have a common factor of 5c minus d. And then we've got our leftovers. So this was kind of weird. They put them in a parentheses, but that's okay. So we have a 2c and a plus 4d left over there. Putting all that together now, it looks like that's going to be choice until. Until is the answer there. So that's going under F. Next up, we've got this one, part G. Looks like I have an x plus 3 as my common factor that comes out. And then we have a k squared minus 7 left over there. So I think that's going to be this one right here. X plus 3, k squared minus 7. The. Now we're moving on to the second set of problems, H through N. These are a little bit trickier in some ways, I guess. So for this one, we've got a common factor of 3w minus 1 that we're taking out. But now here's where it gets tricky. So the w squared, definitely that's left over. But what about this other one, right? I don't see any number out in front of the parentheses. So this is where you have to realize that there's an invisible 1 out there if you don't see anything else. So that'll be a plus 1 to go with our w squared. So we have w squared plus 1 and a 3w minus 1. That's going to be right here, forest. That goes under h. Here we are with problem I. Again, we have a common factor that we can take out, 5 minus n squared in this case. And our leftovers, we've got a 2d, and just like that last problem, there's an invisible 1 that we have to realize is there, and take that out as well. So I have 5 minus n squared, 2d plus 1. You got to be careful, because here we have a 5 minus n squared undershoot, but it's the wrong other factor. Going further up, 2d plus 1, 5n minus squared, that's what we're looking for. So we've got forest ranger. So the man who hunted bear until the forest ranger, so this is actually looking like we've got some of the right answers here. For problem J, we have a common factor of t plus 7 that's coming out. And then we have leftovers of 5t squared, and we have a minus parentheses. That means there's an invisible minus 1 right there that's coming out. So putting all that together, I'm looking for t plus 7 and 5t squared, 5t squared minus 1. That's right up here. The word is made, so that's going under J. For problem K, we have a common factor of u squared plus v squared that can come out. And although they look kind of weird, the leftovers, there's nothing super tricky there. It's just a 3u squared minus v squared. Now we have to find our answer choice in there. So looking down my list, I'm looking for a lot of v's and u squareds. I see one right here, 3u squared minus v squared, and u squared plus v squared. So that matches what I have. There's something similar down at the bottom, but it's not an exact match. So we're going to go with him under K. This next one is kind of weird with these common factors or terms in front of the parentheses instead of behind them, but whatever. We'll just roll with it. So we've got a minus 2b getting factored out of both of those. And now my leftovers, there's a 3a. And here's where you got to be careful because there's a minus 5b. Don't forget about that minus there. So now we've got a minus 2b, 3a minus 5b. Let's see here. It looks like that's going to be put. So that's under L there. Next up, problem M. We have a common factor of x cubed minus 4 coming out of everything. My leftovers now, I got a 6h, and this is actually a minus invisible 1 that we have to write now. So x cubed, where can I find any x cubeds? Let's see here. It looks like right up here, 6h minus 1, x cubed minus 4, that's what I need. So we're putting on under the M box here. For this one, we have a common factor of y squared plus 3. That whole parentheses is one big common factor. Leftovers, from the first term we have the y squared, and 3 is the one from the other one. This is kind of weird because the y squared was on the right side and the 3 was on the left side, but they're still just leftovers after we take out this y squared plus 3. Well, that's kind of neat. We've got repeats here. So I'm looking for duplicates. Now, another way of writing this is you could write this as y squared plus 3 quantity squared. So that's actually going to be this choice here with the close. So we'll go with close for option N. All right, so we filled out everything. Let's go ahead and solve our riddle, which was, did you hear about, and we just literally have to read this off, the man who hunted bear until the forest ranger made him put on clothes. Oh, it's a play on the word bear, like bear as in wearing no clothes versus the animal. Well, that's sneaky. All right, hope you enjoyed this one. Till next time, Mr. Sutton signing off.